I'm assuming you've made a list of goals. Things like making more money or getting fit. Your list of goals might even include starting and running your own business. Probably, like many people, you're just trying to focus on getting ahead and being successful. You might be in a job, dreaming of a time when you're the boss, instead of having a boss. And while you're working a full-time or a part-time job, you're also working on your dream business. And the implication of being successful is that you'll be happy. You'll be happy one day when you've achieved your goals. But what about now? Having your happiness depend on a series of goals that always seem to be moving and getting further into the future keeps you in a state of dissatisfaction. Happiness becomes something you might achieve eventually, if you're lucky enough to get there. Either way, it's always in the future and something you've yet to achieve. Perhaps it's time to consider whether your goals are keeping you from being happy with who you are right now. Hey everyone, this is Steve Black with Content for Coaches and welcome to this week's edition of Friday Focus. This week I'm going to talk about the difference between internal and external goals and how they can affect our happiness. Now, goals are great for getting motivated, keeping yourself on course, but if you're setting the wrong sort of goals, you might end up feeling demotivated, out of energy, less enthusiastic about them over time. Maybe even feeling like a failure, and that doesn't create happiness. What we really need to do is make sure we're setting goals that will not only get us where we want to go, but will improve our lives and, more importantly, make us happy during the process as well. And make us happy when they're achieved. You need both. The secret of setting goals that make you happy is to make sure you are setting internal goals. These are focused on what you value as an individual. These goals are about achieving what is meaningful to you, not what your parents or your boss or social media tells you is important. If you're passionate about the environment or human rights or teaching children, you probably won't be happy pursuing a career in hedge funds or real estate. If you're a physical type and love being in the outdoors, you'll probably hate working in an office. Internal goals focus on relationships, competence, self-acceptance, and personal growth. Your goal is internal if it reflects any of the following: developing competence, new skills, personal growth, improved relatedness, giving to the community, creating or strengthening relationships, autonomy. Your goal is about you, your passion, your core values. An internal goal will make you feel excited and energized. An internal goal is an end in itself, not a means to an end. Whereas external goals are outwardly focused and are often about gaining approval from other people or achieving what you might perceive as social norms. External goals are a means to an end, working hard to become richer, getting a bigger car or that bigger house. External goals aren't bad, but if you only focus on achieving an external validation at some point in the future, you will not become happy. You'll eventually find that these goals are not your goals, but goals you think you should be aiming for. They're societal goals that we're expected to aim for. It reminds me of the saying from Russell Brunson. He's the founder of ClickFunnels, and his slogan is kind of like, you're just one funnel away, implying that getting that one funnel will solve all your problems and make you happy and rich. And I'm not knocking it. You would be excited to get that one funnel, right? But personally, I wouldn't. I'm thinking that one funnel could bring, what would it bring for me? Lots of new customers very quickly, but all with their own little quirks and complaints. I'd suddenly have to build out a team of professionals very quickly and hope I survive the next few months and the stress that goes with it. So what we have are external goals that are not our goals, which will probably lead to what's called experience goal displacement, a true dissatisfaction with what you've achieved and the need for a newer, shinier, bigger goal in the future. And so happiness becomes something that might happen one day in the future, and there's no guarantee you'll be happy when you get there. Or, because it didn't work immediately, the lack of instant gratification we would love, we search for that new shiny object to help us achieve that goal. The main problem with external goals is that you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Researchers have found that relying on an external goal is associated with a range of psychological conditions, including anxiety and depression. Putting all your self-worth eggs in the basket of external validation can block you from ever feeling truly happy and fulfilled. You're handing over your power and self-worth to other people. Now, people love recognition, but when we don't get it, either because someone didn't notice or we didn't actually achieve it, we become stressed and upset. and this puts us off setting our next goal. Internal goals, on the other hand, are associated with higher self-esteem, more energy, higher psychological well-being, and ironically, they will help you to become more successful because you're doing something that is personally meaningful and fulfilling. You're not getting caught up in anxiety and trying to impress people, and as a consequence, you tend to radiate competence, calm, and confidence, which people actually admire. So how do you go about refocusing your goals so that they're internal rather than external? How do we set goals that are what we want and what we can be excited about all the time? Well, it's time to do some brainstorming. The best way to do this, take a large piece of paper and write down as many goals as you can think of. Don't filter or question what you write down. Just set that inner critic aside for now and write a big brain dump of goals. Next, grab a couple of markers or highlighter pens and choose one color for internal goals and a different color for external goals. And circle or highlight your goals accordingly. For each goal, ask yourself, does this goal relate to an external influence like money, fame, status, or some other external validation? Or does this goal relate to you and your values, your personal growth, and your relationship with others? See if you can determine which way the energy is flowing. Is it moving outward or is it moving inward? Which way are you facing when you think of this goal? Inwards to your feelings or outwards to the world's opinion? Some examples might make this exercise a little bit easier. Okay, so let's say you want to start a business. That's your goal. But what is your motivation? An external motivation is that you start a business and be the next Tony Robbins or Jack Canfield and everything that goes with that. Internal motivation is that you want to provide an income for yourself and your family and help other people in the process. Or maybe you want to exercise and get fit so you can feel strong and full of energy, which is internal, or so you can compete in a marathon and win a medal, which is external. I know you'll be more motivated and happier on identifying, working through and achieving your internal goals. Having goals that align with your values makes the work required to achieve them that much easier. And most of the time it doesn't even feel like work. You just believe in what you're doing, so you enjoy it so much more. Take note of Warren Buffett's advice. As one of the most successful and richest people in the world, making money isn't the backbone of our guiding purpose. Making money is the byproduct of our guiding purpose. If you're doing something you love, you're more likely to put your all into it, and that generally equates to making more money. Even Bill Gates started his empire by writing software because he loved writing software, not because he could see his way to becoming the richest person in the world. Chasing happiness by looking outwards for fame, success, or money is a way to look for future happiness that might never happen. Even if you get there, it might seem like a truism, but happiness comes from within yourself. If your life goals reflect who you are as a person, what you care about, what you're interested in, you're more likely to work hard to achieve them. Internal goals can also have a positive impact on your business. Psychologists have found that far from being a distraction from getting the work done, investing time and effort in building relationships can drive business success. Even if you're in a less than fulfilling job right now, include some internal goals focused on building relationships, and not only will you feel happier in your work, but you're more likely to become successful as a result. Refocusing your goals will allow you to set your unique definition of success, yours. And when you align your goals with who you are and what you believe, instead of what society or your friends and family expect you to be, you will find happiness regardless of what success comes your way. Focus on enjoying the process, not looking for the end result at some point in the future. Setting internal life goals frees you up to live the moment, to enjoy what you're doing, whether it's hiking in the mountains, learning a new language, or volunteering for your favorite nonprofit. You will find happiness in what you're doing right now instead of waiting until you're driving around in that brand new car. So what does this mean? It means your happiness right now is totally up to you. You can take control of your life today by checking in and seeing how your life goals stack up. Have a look at your goals. Check that your path is going to make you feel fulfilled and happy. Happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. Until next Friday, this is Steve Black with Content for Coaches. Thanks for watching.